All right, really, again, just proud of our team for how they competed last week. It was just a phenomenal effort from our guys. Tremendous perseverance and leadership and will to win. It was just awesome to be a part of it, and really, I think, one of those moments that you probably look back in your season when it's all said and done, and as a coach, it's really neat because there's just certain times where you go, you know what, boy, you almost can just, it's like your kids on the growth chart, used to always have a little growth chart hanging in Clay's room, and we'd take everybody in there and you mark it, and then you'd mark it, and it was just like, sometimes you don't really see the growth as quick because you're so close to it, but that was one of those moments where I'm like, man, we really grew as a team. And so just special to be a part of it, and love where they were last night, coming back in here and getting focused on another division challenge, going back on the road, be our third road game in this first half of the season. We got an open date next week, so, man, just got to do everything that we possibly can do, first of all, to get better, to improve, but to just try to play our best game and create great confidence and momentum going into the halftime of our season. And, because I know that, the guys will be excited about that little break, but also opportunity for us to really formulate all the things that we need to do to give ourselves a great chance for the second half. So this week is really critical in a lot of ways on getting our team better. Another big challenge, Wake Forest, Dave's done a great job. They're 3-2. They got 2 tough losses. They lost a 1-score game to a really good BC team, and then they lost to Notre Dame, who a lot of people think may be one of the best teams in the country, top 3 or 4 or 5 teams. So that's who they lost to, and they put 27 points up on Notre Dame, excuse me. So they're 3-2, and for them, they've got 1 division loss. So obviously they don't want another one. This will be we get everybody's best effort. That just kind of comes with the territory. But they're a problem. Offensively, they're doing some great stuff, scoring 38 points a game. I think they're second in the conference in total offense. They run the ball. They're rushing for 244 yards a game, and they play. Syracuse. I told y'all there's up tempo. Then they were lightning. I'm not really sure how to describe Wake Forest. I don't even really know how they get their plays called, to be honest with you. They're so fast. It is so fast, and it's all built off the run game and the RPOs and the screens, and then this little quarterback they got is a baller. He really is. He's going to be a problem for a while. He's a young player, but he is a tough competitor. Has a really good feel for what they're asking him to do, and they're very unique. It's almost like you're playing Georgia Tech again, but with a different style of play. They're very, very unique as far as how they run the action game. And you'll see that if you watch the tape or you watch the game. It's very slow developing. It's a lot of times this quarterback's all the way almost into the line of scrimmage, and then he pulls the ball, and it's a pop pass. They got 1 million pop passes, so it just really stresses you defensively to have great discipline. You've got to do a great job with your gaps. I think they coach very well, and their players understand, where they're not fitting, where you're not fitting the gaps properly, and what their plays do to create those problems. So it's a big challenge. They're getting that number 7 back this week at wideout. Number 3 is a really good football player. He leads the ACC. I think he's like 111 yards a game. He's averaging about 9 catches a game. That's Tim Beret. What's up, Tim? Holy cow. I just saw you. But anyway, didn't expect to see you. Good to have you back, man. All right. Maybe we can get some normalcy around here now. Yeah, you're back around. But anyway, I think his name's Gorsuch or something like that. Dortch. Yeah, Dortch. At number 3, though, he's a baller. Quick and like I said, leads this league. He's got a ton of catches. I think he leads them in touchdowns. He also leads the league in punt return. He's right at 17 yards of return. They've got 3 punt returns for touchdowns. I think they blocked 1 as well. So this is a really good player, and they have found some ways to score. So offensively, they're a big challenge. And you look at the statistics show that. I mean, they're up there near the top and everything, but schematically and handling the tempo and getting lined up and some of their unique formations, especially when they line up into the boundary, it creates some problems. It's something we really didn't do a good job of last week as far as lining up to some of the stuff where, our guys didn't recognize a couple of the formations. So, and then defensively, that Zeke Rodney from up there at South Point, he's not very tall, but, man, he plays big. He is a high motor, high-intensity football player. They've got some unknowns. I mean, it seems like every other week here we're getting into a situation where there's just some unknowns, not quite to the extent of Texas A&M, but, so they made a change at D coordinator just a couple weeks ago. We really only got 1 game. So who knows what we're going to see. And we got to be prepared for what we've seen them do and what they've prepared to do, but also kind of anticipate a little bit on what they may do with somebody new calling it. But last week we didn't really get a lot. They kind of outmanned Rice. So still be some unknowns for us going into this game, and we'll have to make good adjustments and really get a feel early on exactly how they want to play us, what their identity is going to be. But they're a good football team. And again, Dave has done a tremendous job. Gotten better and better each year. We're excited about the challenge.
Coach, Trevor did pretty much everything you'd normally do at practice last night.
He did.
I think I saw him slide for the first time on Saturday for that first down, but then, of course, later he kind of reverted back. He's kind of out of control. Yeah. Is that something that you talked to him a lot about, sliding feet first, and will you coach him to do that going forward, especially given your situation at quarterback?
Absolutely. We run our quarterbacks. That's what we do. So our quarterbacks have to be a part of it. But, yeah, you got to be smart. We coach him to be smart, and he's a young player, and that wasn't very smart. He was out of control, and just I love his effort, but there's a time for that, and then there's a time to let's live for another play. And so he just got to, because he can run. Trevor can move. He can navigate the pocket very well, and I think as we continue to watch him grow, that's one of his best attributes. Is his ability. I mean, the one that he scrambled on, that was a scramble. They went 2-man on us on first down, and he recognized it. He let the pass lane set. He knows that they got nobody for him, and he made a nice little 8-yard gain. Got down. It's now 2nd and 2, and that's what good quarterbacks do. You got great recognition that way, and he's got the ability to make you pay if you give him some of those advantageous opportunities to run. And then he can extend plays, but that was a breakdown in the play. He's expecting protection, and we didn't set the edge the way we needed to, and it gets it just was a bad decision on his part. So yeah, he'll learn from it moving forward.
Was it more of a concussion issue or a neck issue after you've had a chance to evaluate?
They felt more of a neck issue. It was kind of he got crap knocked out of him, and so I mean it was head and neck, and like I said, he had some pain, and they have a whole protocol of all that stuff, and I mean it's you get put in concussion protocol, for anything that creates a symptom. It's just not something that you mess with, and so I mean like I said, told you all the day, he wanted to come back and play the second half, but. It was just don't know. So they did not feel comfortable, especially with what the pain he was having in his neck. And but he really responded well after the game, and they put him in the protocol, and they have all there's a metrics or what, I have no idea what they do, but he was really good Sunday, and then same thing yesterday. Came in and worked out Monday morning. and looked good last night.
What was your assessment of how he played before that?
Played well. He played well. He was 60-something% completion. I don't remember exactly, but I want to say he was, I don't know, what was he, maybe 10 or 15 or something like that, or maybe a few more attempts than that. But 12 or 17 or something like that. But he had a good game. He missed a couple throws that he would have liked to have had back. I think he was just a little amped up, but he did a nice job. We had the one screw up on the exchange, which was costly. But I think he got good experience and kind of got that first start out of the way too, and all the stuff with that. I think he's in a good spot, and Bryce as well. So it worked out well in the end.
Dabo Dortch lines up in the slot, which is going to put a lot of stress on the safeties and the linebackers, and Isaiah Simmons specifically in this game. You guys got a plan for this guy?
Yeah, we got a plan. We got to execute the plan, but we definitely got a plan, no doubt. But he is a really good player, and especially, again, if there's a lot of times that the ball's getting thrown and the quarterback is a yard and a half, 2 yards behind the center. So, and it puts pressure because, they're well designed and well schemed, and he'll buy time, and boom, he'll slip you. Because what they're trying to do is create clean throwing lanes for that quarterback. And but he's a problem. He's a handful. He's a very good player, and they'll move him around. They'll move him around and do different things with him, and they're going to make sure he touches the ball for sure. He's their guy.
What's the biggest difference between this Wake Forest team and previous Wake Forest teams?
Not much. I mean, the biggest difference is there's some unknowns on the defensive side going into this game because they got a new guy that's calling it, and we've only got, one game against the team that they were just way overmatched against. So that's the biggest unknown. But they are who they are on offense. They believe in what they do. They have an identity. They've recruited well to what they do. They're built to run the ball. That's what they do. I mean, they're going to run the ball and try to action you to death. And so you just got to do a great job with executing your plan and trying to be disruptive up front. Try to win your matchups against them and leverage the ball because they will try to get outside of you as well. And then you got to play man coverage. You got to be able to play man coverage and win the matchup.
Is substitution even more of an issue with them than Syracuse? Seems like they don't sub a lot on offense.
Yeah. You got to be able. You better get your hand down quick, get the signal in quick, because like I said, there's sometimes they're snapping. I don't even know how they got the play called, but most of what they're doing is built in, And then this quarterback is really, really confident and really schooled up in what he's looking at, and then they just do a nice job. I mean, I know they're -3, I think, in the turnover margin, but they do a nice job with the exchange and the timing of, hey, you got it, I got it. I mean, they have a good feel for that. It's kind of a unique tempo, the way the back, he's not just a downhill guy. It's just kind of like golf cart speed, and just trying to just create gaps, in your defense, and then he hits it or he pulls it. So there's just they're very well coached, and they do a great job of teaching their scheme.
What do you have to see about Trevor, like a timeline-wise, for him to be able to go Saturday at Wake, or do you expect him to be able to play?
Oh, I definitely expect him to be able to play. I mean, that's why I put him back in practice last night, and I don't see anything a reason why he wouldn't.
Coach, going back to Dortch, he and Kayvon Wallace went to the same high school. Was he ever a guy that was on y'all's radar when you were scouting Kayvon?
No. That doesn't mean he's not a great player. Just, a lot of times for us, as you all know, I mean, we might what year is he? He's a redshirt sophomore, so third year, whoever we're recruiting. Then a lot of times we'll have our number committed already, early. We weren't on Kayvon. We weren't on Kayvon until January. I didn't know who Kayvon Wallace was until 2 weeks before signing day. But that was because we didn't have scholarships for DBs that year. And, all of a sudden we had like 4 guys leave after that first national championship game because I have to count on them coming back. And they decided to leave, and so we ended up having some spots, and we were able to go get Nolan Turner, who's really turning into a great player for us. We were able to get Isaiah Simmons out of Kansas, and we got Kayvon, and then we got Trayvon Mullen. That was our 4. So, you know, we hit it out with a home run in January on those guys.
Can you give some insight on the balance between like an RPO mindset of we're going to see what the defense does and take what they give us, and then on the other end, at some points like Saturday, regardless of what they do, we're going to slam the run. The balance between those.
Yeah, well, I just think that some of our best plays were RPOs last week, and just once we got the run game going, the action game, we had a couple just pure action calls, and then we had some really good RPO stuff where we pulled it, and even the touchdown to the one that Travis broke on the right side there on our sideline, toward the one before the last, that was an RPO, and you know, Chase did. That's a quarterback being ready, and he went in and he made the right decision, and so he gave the ball. You know, we actually had I thought we were going to get the pass on that, but they kept the safety high. We handed it. Travis was able to bounce it and make a guy miss, and it was a touchdown. So, but it starts with the quarterback making the right decision, first of all, and then, but, you know, we got in a situation Saturday where, you know, obviously Chase was a little wobbly early. And we didn't want to put a lot on his plate. I just felt like we had to find a way to just force. And I thought we were just better up front. I thought we were better on the back end, in that if we could just get to the second level, we could get positive yards and stay on schedule. And so just a matter of, you know, stopping some of the negative plays and critical mistakes. And so we just forced the issue. And if you watch the tape, that's why there were some plays where they had guys there. They just couldn't tackle us. Our guy was better than their guy. And when you're playing really, really good people, that's not always the case, you know. And so you have to that's why you want to have balance in your offense, and you want to be able to take advantage of what they give you. And we've always done that. But Saturday it was a situation where I felt like it was putting too much pressure on Chase early. You know, let's let this kid settle down a little bit. You know, especially after he threw the pick. You know, TJ ran a good route, and you know, he just made a bad throw. We missed the little quick out cut. I mean, so we're getting off schedule. You know, trying to run our offense, and it just really was a reflection of just him, just kind of first time playing in that situation, but. As we got the run game going, and so we just started changing it up. We just gapped them, and then we zoned them. We just kept a good mix going, and our guys did a great job. And we had some really good blocks up front. We had some really good blocks at tight end. We had some really good blocks at wide out. It was just a mindset that I think everybody took on, that hey, if we're going to get it done, and the backs knew that, you know, I told them, hey, you guys, we're going to have to get it done. Let's go. And so. Everybody took great pride in that, and then once we kind of settled in a little bit, when we had to have it, and you saw that when he came back and he threw 2 strikes in a row to Justin Ross, I was like, all right, this kid's, he's kind of got it. This is all right. Chase is back. All right, we got Chase Bryce now. We got the full guy out there, and so that was critical for us. But you know, it was just sometimes that you got to find a way. And we went with what we thought was best, and put it on the guys up front and our backs, and we kind of took a lot of the options away from the quarterback. But when we're at our best, that quarterback is armed. Some of our best plays. I mean, and listen, we've played 5 games, and right now after 5 games, we're a career. This is the all-time career high for yards per play. I mean, we're averaging over 7 yards a play, which, if the season ended today, would be the all-time high in the history of Clemson football. So we've been unbelievably explosive. And even Trevor. I mean, Trevor's played 4.5 games, and he's like top 10 in the country. He's done a nice job. He's a reason for that. One of the reasons for that explosiveness and the way our backs are playing. We just got to clean up some stuff. Stupid penalties, stupid turnovers, costly critical errors, some technique things fundamentally that we got to do a better job, especially on some of the twists up front. Just recognition of a few things. I mean, we're really that. I mean, we're like right there from I think being special on offense. So we haven't even scraped the surface of what I think that we can be, really on either side of the ball. But we're 5-0, and we're a work in progress. But we're getting better,
Going back to the run game, Coach, the offensive line play on Saturday was something that a lot of people pointed to. Can you point out a few guys in that offensive line that you wanted to point out?
Yeah, I think we played 8, and 6 of the 8 graded a winner, and had a winning grade. So I was really proud of them. I mean, again, Tremaine Ankram's gone the second series. Pollard's got to go play tackle. He hasn't played much tackle this year. He's practiced, and now you got Cade in there. Now we got Cervinka having to play a lot. I think it was, as it all turned out, it was great. It was especially for Gage, for him to have to go in and play so well. I mean, he really played well outside of jumping off sides. He played some good football. I just think their confidence is growing right now. But we just got to improve some technique stuff, some recognition stuff, some just base fundamental stuff on a few things that we've done that we got to clean up if we're gonna be special on offense. And the guys are taking pride in that. They know. I mean, we watch the tape. It's just some things that they're just going crap, and they want to improve, and we will. But I'm proud of those guys. I think John Simpson is really taken off. He didn't play well. I think it was the A&M game. He really did not play well. But Buddy, since then, he has really become steady and consistent. Of course, Mitch, he was ACC Lineman of the Week. I mean, you just kind of know what you're gonna get with him. I mean, he's as steady a player as I've ever coached. Fauci has come on and has played well. We've been kind of rotating guys at guard a little bit, developing some depth there. I think Bachhorst went in there on that last drive and played a few plays, and Bachhorst did a great job. He didn't flinch. So I think he's a kid that's really coming on. It's a good situation. And then our versatility came through for us. Robbie does a good job. I mean, we make those guys cross-train, the guys who can. Jackson Carman has gotten some good experience in the first part of the season. He didn't get in there Saturday, but he's got some good experience. His confidence is growing. What a player he's going to be. So I like where we are up front.
When you're talking about balance, Mike Leach describes balance as getting it to both your inside, outside receivers at equal rate. Some people talk about balance, equal running and passing. What does, balance on offense or defense mean to you?
At the end of the season, when you look at us, we had some semblance of balance. There's going to be some games where it's going to be out of whack a little bit. But balance to me is having an offense that has the ability to take what they're going to give you. They can't defend everything. And so you got to be good enough to exploit their weakness, the weakness of the defense. And then, be good enough at times to run it when everybody knows you're going to run it. And so I think that's the type of stuff that leads to balance, and be able to throw it, when everybody knows you need to throw it. So to win a game. And I think when you can do that, when you have the ability to win either way, when it's all said and done, even though some games one way or the other, you got pretty good balance in what you're doing at the end of the year.
Do you like having the two most up-tempo teams on your schedule offensively? Do you like having them back-to-back, or would you rather have them spread out a little?
No, I mean, it kind of worked out good. We had 3 out of the first 4 games in triple option. I don't think that was bad. But no, I think it's good. I mean they're faster than Syracuse. I think they had one game was 105 snaps. So we'll see. But it'll be good. And again, answer your balance question. If you can't run, you can't have balance if you cannot run the ball. if you're not committed to running the ball, you know. And we've always been a team that's been built on trying to run the football, and that creates everything else.
Coach, where did the decision to start including Xavier Thomas on the field with Cleveland and Austin and Christian come to be?
Last week, you know, just, I mean, y'all watching the game too, aren't you? He's pretty. We got to, and then, you know, their style of play. Watching our game against them last year, obviously we've played triple option teams 3 out of 4 games, so we really have not played. And even Texas A&M, we had it's the only game that, you know, they're more of a run-oriented team, but they hurt us in the passing game, and I think we got better in that area as far as some of the busts and stuff like that. But we hadn't seen anything like we were getting ready to play. And watching the tape from last year and dealing with this quarterback, man, he hurt us. And he hurt us the other day. We should have sacked him 5 times. 5 times. We should have 5 sacks. And he's got eyes in the back of his head. We got him dead to rights, and just boom, he spins out and we miss him. Or he's going down and gets rid of the ball. He's just a really crafty player. And there was times last year where he found the rush lane, and we just couldn't go get him. And you know, I just felt like that, you know, in those certain situations, let's use Xavier, and that's what we did. So we had a little indie package, and he was a spy guy, he was a rush guy, and he did a heck of a job for us. And so he's just taken off like a rocket ship. I mean, I thought we probably did a poor job of rotating our guys last week. I mean, he played a lot, but he needs more reps, because I thought Clee and Austin got a little tired. I mean, they played 60 snaps or more, and you know, I felt like there was a couple of plays where I saw a little bit of fatigue. That's a lot of snaps, especially when you're playing a up-tempo team and you're running all over the place. The ball's on the edge. I mean, the quarterback's running around. So I'm glad that we were able to get him in the game. And, I mean, that kid he's not a complete player yet by any stretch of the imagination, but he plays full speed, and his first step is special. He's 260 pounds. He's a good tackler. And he knows how to go get the quarterback. So I think you'll continue to see his opportunity increase because he's earned it, and we're starting to trust him more.
Y'all haven't faced much drop back at all. Do you think as you face more over the course of the season, he's going to be even more of a...
Oh yeah. I don't care what we see the rest of the season. He's a football player, and a really good one. So his opportunity will continue to grow because he's productive. You know, he's productive.
Trayvon coming along, and do you know yet if he'll be able to go Saturday?
He's coming along good, and you know, like I said last night, I expect everybody to be able to go at this point.
Last one here in the back. Coach, I understand the surface reasoning. Hello, by the way.
Man, where were you last week? Is there something I'm missing this week?
Sorry, man. A bit of news. I understand the surface reasoning for your comment about the growth chart. Third string quarterback wins a game before you come back from behind to avoid an upset and all of that. But you got guys that are playoff season. You have national champions on your roster. So what is there that we don't see from the outside that made this a growth chart notch for your team?
Well, and it wasn't just the third team quarterback. You know, like I said earlier, it was Tremaine gone, Pollard out, Sarinka Cade playing to win it type deal. Mark Fields is out. Trayvon Mullen, our starting corner against an NFL quarterback, is out. So I got a true freshman out there who hadn't played a lick in past situations other than practice, and now he's going against a gunslinger and good wideouts, and he's out there having to play a whole game basically at corner. So there was just a lot of that, you know, in our team. You know, it was awesome. Not to mention, you know, just the drama of the week and all the distractions and all that stuff. So I think every team, you know, there's this galvanizing moment usually, but every team has a different chemistry. The chemistry and the leadership of your team are the two most underrated things in football. You know, everybody just looks at them and they go, ooh, man, they're really talented. Oh, man, they got all these guys back, or whatever it may be. And that's great, but chemistry and leadership and morale, those are very undervalued aspects that a lot of people don't think about, and that really, truly determine the type of season that you're going to have. You know, you can't just be talented. There's a lot of talented teams out there that they have underachieving seasons because of those reasons. Maybe their chemistry's not very good. They're not a very selfless team. You know, their commitment's not what it needs to be. They're distracted. You know, they're looking at this and looking at that, you know, whatever it may be. Maybe they don't like each other very well. There's the leadership's not very good. The best players on your team, you know, aren't committed like they need to be. And so I've been a part of all of the above throughout my career, that's for sure. But, you know, this team's a special group. It's a special group. And I knew that, and I've seen nothing to make me think any different. But what I saw in them last week, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, at the hotel on Friday, in our meeting Friday night, and then what I witnessed, I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. And so it literally was, it's like you're physically able to watch them grow 3 inches. So it was pretty cool to see it come together, and to see the leaders of this team do just that, lead and serve. It's awesome.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.